The way that Master Duel is going at this exact moment, it's not going to be very long before a lot of the players start jumping ship, and I'm going to tell you why. This is Road TCG. Probably one of the largest issues that Master Duel is facing at this exact moment. It can be put together in about 3 or 4 complaints that I need to be having. First of which is going to be the lack of changes in card pool. Ever since Master Duel has come out, we have not gotten any new cards. This can include like half of Synchro Storm, all of Burst of Destiny, and any other set past that. And a lot of people might be waiting for those sets. Leerless got their half a burst of Synchro Storm, but Speedroy did not. Speedroy did not get any of the cards they got from Synchro Storm. Baron DeFleur is not in the game. DPE is not in the game. Some of the B Trooper stuff. Actually, I don't think any of the B Trooper stuff's in the game somehow, and that's that Majesty set or whatever. So currently, there's an issue with the card pool. We have banned cards like the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon that insta kills you. We have Maxi. We have Electromite. We have Astrograph. We have all these banned cards. I don't think adding B Trooper cards is necessarily going to make that more broken. Just because they can search Maxi doesn't really mean anything when they end on like a single negate. Unlike Drytron, which has triple Ben 10, triple Ava, Union Carrier, all that, they can end on like 6 negates plus. That's not a complaint against Drytron at this exact moment. It's more of a complaint of them gatekeeping like these newer decks from the format. My next complaint is going to be one that a lot of people have been saying. It's going to be about the lack of competitive changes. This is the 3rd season of competitive, and the highest rank is Plat 1. When you enter Plat 1, you can get anything from the most competitive decks, the most the best players, to people who are running their decks like actual monkeys, but since they're running such a broken deck, they just insta win. Or you can just get like Red Eyes for some reason. Red Eyes shouldn't be in Plat 1. Like, even if the pilot is like God tier, Red Eyes doesn't have anything that really makes it stand out. It doesn't have Dragoon. All it has is Red Eyes Fusion. What are Red Eyes Fusioning for? Slash Dragon? No. Like, this deck has a really serious issue at the moment about competitive play and how they want to be presenting competitive play to players. I've seen some tweets about newer players saying they can't get out of gold because they're still running like the default deck or something. You shouldn't even be able to get into gold with the default deck, let alone get out of gold with it. Like, the amount of bad decks that are in the pool that are clogging up the lower tiers makes it so the higher tiers just has any competent deck, like, or even semi-competent deck. So there's that. My personal main complaint though is the crafting system, and I know people are gonna moan and stuff like, oh, it's better than Hearthstone. It's actually not, and let me tell you why. Hearthstone has one conglomerated crafting system where every single card type, rare, mythic, like whatever, or all those different types, like the purples, the blues, the goldens, they all give you the same currency. But if we go into Master Duel, and we're going to click on my pile deck, if you look at the top left, do you notice how there's 4 different currencies for each different rarity? That means in order to craft an ultra rare, you have to get ultra rares. So that's nothing like Hearthstone, where you can just like sit there and grind to get like a single like legendary like card. Like, no, you have to specifically pull the ultras, and then you have to pull 3 ultras at most to get 1 ultra. Like, that's pretty ridiculous in my opinion. And not just that, it's just the fact that Hearthstone at least gives you free packs, like when you complete missions, or has like a mission like bar where it gives you free gold and stuff. And it's like not even like an insubstantial amount of gold. It's like 75 gold per like mission done. or like per games played. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel doesn't have anything like that. Sometimes when you finish a game, you'll get like 25 like gems and that's it, and then you get like your daily gems, which I'm not complaining about, but it's more like just the fact that you have to unlock the packs again, unlike Hearthstone where every single pack's available to you or it's in wild mode. Like that's just not really comparable, really. So I pulled up the pile deck for this specific reason. You see, this deck needed one, two, that I needed to craft. One, two, three, four, five ultra rares. One, one, two, three, four, five, six ultra rares in the main deck that I had to craft, and then two ultra rares in the side deck that I had to craft. So that's eight ultra rares that I had to craft. All right. Do you want to know how many decks I had to disassemble to make these ultra rares? If we go back, if you look at my previous deck profiles, you can see that I had Virtual World, I had Phantom Knight, I had Six Samurai, I had all these decks. So let's look at Six Samurai real quick. I had to disassemble every single super rare in order to get the super rare credits. I had to disassemble the gateway, all these ultras, this super, these ultras, everything. So this Six Samurai deck is no longer functional. It's now like a shell. Oh, why don't we see PK? Why don't we see PK real quick? Oh, almost every single super rare is disassembled, and every single ultra rare is disassembled. Huh. That's really strange. Why don't we take a look at Mutant? Huh. All the super rares in the main deck are disassembled, that are like archetype specific, and then all the ultras in the decks are disassembled. Do you see what I'm talking about? In order to make one deck, you need to make three decks not work. So this makes it so you either want to pay to play by perhaps getting the ultra rares you want out of the packs. In order to do that, you need to pull the cards you want for the secret packs. So you need to open the master packs first, or like the special packs, and then you have to pray to God that you get the right cards to get the secret packs, so you can start spending your money on those. Or you just need to hope that you get enough ultra rares that you can craft the deck that you want. That's fucking ridiculous. In Yu-Gi-Oh, the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh is understanding how your opponent's deck plays, how to play around it, and how to counter it. The best way to learn how your opponent's deck plays is by playing it yourself. How are you supposed to learn how to play yourself if you're only allowed to keep one deck at a time? That doesn't make any sense, really. And I've been looking at Twitter, and people have been saying, I've only played this one deck this entire time, and I've just been holding on to like ultra rares and stuff. I only played this deck, or I only have two decks. The only people who I see have more than two decks are people who spend $100 plus on the game. Does that really seem fair? Where a game about skill, the amount of variety and amount of exposure you have to different decks completely relies on how much money you spent on the game? Not really. The money you spent on the game is fine, but the money spent on the game should be on getting like even more decks. Like I think the right amount of decks to be having is around 3 decks that are competitively viable. While if you spend money, you can have 6 to 7 decks. I think that's probably a more fair number, not 1-2 decks to 3-4 decks. Like that's kind of ridiculous. And the content creators, I'm not blaming them for spending the money. That's their job. They need to have those decks. And if we look at this, these are all the different decks I want to build. Musket, all super rares and ultra rares. Zombie World. Look at the amount of ultra rares I need. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. 9 ultra rares just for this one deck. And that's the ones I need to craft. That's not even the ones that are already in here. and also given that people need to have like the staple cards like Maxi, Ash, and Imperm, which are all ultras, that's a little bit silly. Salamangreat. What a coincidence that they put the cards that you need, like Sunlight Wolf and Heat Leo, at ultra rare. I wonder what, and Signet Mining. I wonder what could have made them do that. Maybe make their deck out of reach for most players, unless they spend like a unreasonable amount of time or money to get this deck. Kind of sussy in my opinion. Unchained. Unchained's actually a little bit more of a reasonable one. Only cards like you just need a lot of supers. This is my blind second list, so you need D shifters as well and Kaiju slumbers and all that. But if you're making a going first build, you're gonna need solemns and stuff. So, Sidra. For some reason, every single extra card in Sidra that like you want is all ultras. Mega Fleets, ultras. Seegers, ultras. Polides, ultra. Infinity, ultra. And then everything else that you want is super. Emergency, super. Core, super. Galaxy Soldier, super. Like, even Rampage Dragon, Twin Dragon, the shitty ass Over Dragon. Like, that's really ridiculous. They need to calm down with the amount of ultras in the game. And if you look at the amount of. And this wouldn't be as much of a complaint if you could disassemble these shitty ass retro pack cards. Do you think I would give a shit about Desperado Barrel Dragon? I don't look like a Duel Links player. Or what about Blue Eyes White Dragon? No, fuck that. I'm not generating that. I want to take these apart. With these, and then Dual Assembler. If I could take apart this and this, that's one ultra rare right there. If I could take apart Five-Headed Dragon and this fucking Tamaya's Knight of Destiny, that's another ultra rare. Arm Dragon Catapult, whatever the fuck. Like, they're giving you free ultra rares, but they're ultra rares you don't want. Do I give a shit about Card of Fate? No. Like, do I give a shit about Emperor Maju Garzet or Mirage Knight? No. Let me disassemble these. Like, you should be able to disassemble those shitty ass cards you get. They give you 3 cards per pack anyway, so they should at least incentivize you to, like, open those. Those are the packs you get from playing, and they're god awful. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. I think that's really about it. Other than, like, the card pool and how when you get into Plat 1, it's either, I'm going to break your board decks, I have the worst deck known to man and somehow I'm in Plat 1, or, oh, you don't have Ash Blossom or Maxi, you are going to die now. Like, that's just how the game is. People are going to play what wins. But it's Konami's incentive to make it so what wins or what people can play is fair in a sort of way. Like, all these cards were banned, the ones that like started FTKs and stuff. In TCG, there's not really any FTKs at the moment that I know of. OCG, I'm not too well versed in it, so maybe there are FTKs. But given the fact that there's Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Astrograph and Electromite, all you have to do is play a deck exclusively of dark spellcasters and like things that search dark spellcasters, like the Magician archetype, a Verte Anaconda to dump instant fusion for the Lyrilisk Independent Nightingale, and you literally just win the game right there if your opponent doesn't like have imperm for the Verte. Like, that doesn't necessarily seem fair. So to summarize my points, this game is still good. There's a lot that can be improved on it, and the current inaction on competitive play, gem costs, deck crafting costs, resource systems, and card availability is really hurting my enjoyment and most likely other people's enjoyments of the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video and the commentary, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. And a comment if you thought I left anything out or if you had an opinion that disagreed with mine. I would love to see those in the comments and, get other people's opinions and inputs on this sort of topic. Maybe you like Master Duel. Maybe you love playing the Starving Venom. I'm going to now kill you with the Tyrant Neptune, which has been banned, deck. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day.